Hello, welcome back. We are on Art of Cycling. I'm Greg. Bicycle's falling over. Fortunately, our yellow jersey is not. So we are on Alpe d'Huez, one of the fabled climbs, and this year we're going to actually do this climb twice. Today and tomorrow we come up in another direction. So a particularly hard stage. I think the organizers thought that the race would be close and this would be a very pivotal stage, and certainly things are going to happen today, but not in terms of who's going to win the Tour de France. Because, it's not over till it's over, but it's going to take something truly catastrophic for Tadej not to win the Tour. But that being said, he's had some teammates really suffering, getting sick. Now, on the upside, the first of those was Adam Yates, but he was able to recover and was in the breakaway and was able to help Tadej for a bit on this climb up Alpe d'Huez. And but he's had other one teammate, the American on the team, has left the race, got into the Watercolor, and if you look, you can see the painting of him that I did yesterday with the final vehicles of the stage in the race and the broom wagon, which is what voiture ballet means, right behind him, lurking like a vulture. And then he eventually succumbed and the vulture took him home. Now this climb is usually just nuts with the fans, and it doesn't seem to have been that way this year, and partially because there's a very heavy police presence, or should I say gendarme presence, a presence de gendarme. And here is one of their vehicles parked on the side of the road. And they are just really making sure that the crowd is not too out of hand. They've also, not right here, but put barriers on some of the fabled switchbacks. So there's classic crowded scenes with everybody right up on the riders. Might not happen this year. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, much better for the racers, much safer. Fans have knocked over riders in the past in their enthusiasm, and sometimes intentionally, which is really just ridiculous that fans would be that we all have people we want to see win the race, but not at the detriment of anybody else. There was an image I really should have painted, earlier today after the intermediate sprint where Mads Pedersen was congratulated. In fact, he and Michael Matthews exchanged hugs on the bike after the sprint, so it's, and even that was, that's the thing about Tadej. It's like everybody keeps talking about him and now out of the race, Vingegaard being arch rivals, but they truly respect each other. And even Tadej was was obviously very upset and hoped that Vingegaard wasn't seriously injured, but also was kind of like, it's going to be a different race now. I think they all really enjoy the competition with each other. But so with this sickness, that's probably the only thing that would derail Tadej winning his 5th Tour de France. Sorry, I don't remember the number of riders who've won 5. Of course, one has won more, but he was expunged. I'm referring to Lance Armstrong. It was funny with him, earlier in the race on the same day, in fact, the night before Vingegaard crashed, there were midnight blood tests, doping tests of both Tadej and Vingegaard. I think there were a couple other riders as well, but it was funny to hear Lance just going on about how terrible the testing was, and it was wrong to do that, and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, buddy, your opinion no longer matters. And it's also, people have been accusing Tadej of doping after his win that put him in the yellow, that put him back in the yellow jersey, and he went from so far out and just blew everybody away. It's part of the reason why he leads by 5 minutes, was that stage, and kind of went, that doesn't feel right. So even I'm suspect, and maybe because I got burned by the aforementioned Lance Armstrong, I was a big fan. But Tadej's been using some of the same language to defend himself. I think I've talked about Thomas Voeckler going, there's no evidence that he's doping. There's no evidence that anybody is doping in the Tour this year. Voeckler's like, and that makes me suspicious. Which was an interesting take on it, but, it could be, the point being, it's got to be there, and nobody's been caught, and that just makes me more suspicious. It's an interesting take on it, but not an inaccurate one. always liked Vogler. Particularly liked him as he held off Lance for so long, and the French were going nuts. So clearly I am not an impartial painter of the tour, nor do I think I should, I'm under no obligation to be, am I? So at the base of this climb of Alpe d'Huez, Tade was just over 3 minutes behind the leaders of the stage. There's 3 guys off the front now. It was more at the start. And at this point, with another almost 8 kilometers to climb for the guys in the front. Oh, that's what I was going to do. He's brought it in to a minute and a half, so he's half the time in less than half of the distance. Doesn't exactly bode well for success for them. And one of those up front is Richard Carapaz, who won yesterday. Richard has been trying to gain King of the Mountain points as he did yesterday, and he did gain them, but not enough. Neither got enough points to take over the lead from Tade, who was wearing the yellow and therefore not wearing polka dots. Barry Pontra got within 1 point, and so today took over the virtual, but he's blown up. And he went off the back on the previous climb, so Carapaz is now vying for the KOM points at the top. And should he win the stage, which, let's face it, is not looking very likely, he would take over the lead. But the likely scenario that Tade wins the stage, if he comes in as good as 3rd place, he will become the new polka dot jersey, the new King of the Mountains. And that seems a doable achievement. That would be a wonderful turn of events for the former Ecuadorian champion. So, of course, we're getting into finishing this piece. All of my paintings are on view at theartofcycling.blogspot.com. When you go there, you will find links to each painting to my website, where you can purchase the ones that, obviously not the ones that have sold, but most of the ones that have sold, there are digital prints available. This one will be there as well. I will have posted it by the time you're watching this. Now, yesterday's video, by the time, no, that wasn't true, day before. By the time I posted it, it was already sold, but that's one of the ones that have digital prints available. And of course, I hope you all will subscribe, leave a comment. Of course, I appreciate the kind remarks from Larry. the birthday wishes from, shoot, I'm not going to remember the name. And from Larry for that. I mean, from Manfred. And, if you have any questions, we have, well, this is stage 19, so there'll be 2 more Tour de France videos. So if you have any questions, please ask those. I'll try to address them in the ensuing videos tomorrow or the final day in Paris. The day that is both processional celebratory and full-on racing now with the change in the course. And obviously I would love it if you're not already subscribing that you would do so. And let me know what you think of the tour, of Tade, of doping and cycling in the modern era, and whatever else. Just realized this road surface is quite new, so I was going to darken it up a little bit. And this, you notice that I'm making the brush strokes follow the direction of the road, and that just helps do this whole everything spinning around through the switchback. I believe it's 21 switchbacks, and there's a plaque on each corner that commemorate the men, and I think the women have raced up Alpe d'Huez. I'm hoping the women are there too, who have won on Alpe d'Huez. They better be. Can't remember if they have or not, though. And this is one of the press motorcycles. Follow the tour. And of course, very valuable to be a photographer on the back of a motorcycle, despite, as Christian Van de Velde goes about how scary it is, it's where you're going to get the real photographs. And I've told my story earlier about trying to get on the back of one. Look, guys, I did it again. So thank you all for watching. Again, I hope you'll subscribe. And please do leave a comment or a question. And a thumbs up wouldn't go amiss as well. See you guys tomorrow.